All right, so Jay, let's talk about your journey in your cars and talk about everything about that. Let me hear what's going on with it.
Tell us about how you started though, like, cause I don't know anything, you know?
Right, so it kind of goes back far. So just the foundation of how I like kind of went into cars was I grew up in church, and I actually did like the audio and video side of things. So I was always used to like mixing and recording and everything like that. So fast forward, once I'm old enough, once I'm in high school, I started making my own money. I'm working, and I bought my first camera. Then I went to Honda Day. I started like watching like a lot of car events and stuff. So I kind of like picked up an interest on it, and being that I had like some prior knowledge of it, I kind of like applied it to that. And then it was rolling. I was meeting people locally, and then one day I kind of like fast forward now, like about 4 years ago now, I went to a wedding, and it was basically a friend of the groom who was getting married. His friend went to Lincoln Tech, which is where I was going. I was starting like 2 weeks from that day, and he was like, "Oh, you should talk to this guy. This guy, he's a technician for Lamborghini." And I had seen that place being built up. Like, it was a Land Rover dealership first, but I used to commute to Jersey City every day, and I would see that place being built up. So I'm like, oh man, that's so cool. Like, the only one that I knew about was in the city or Long Island or whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna stop in one day. And even before it was built, I met the guy. So it was maybe like a 10-minute conversation. He was like, "Oh, here's my number. Like, if you ever want to come, like, stop in." And I was like, whoa.
The value of networking, dog. We were talking about that last pod.
So that like I said, I had prior experience around car shows and recording and documenting all that stuff. But this was like really like the turning point where things started to like actually take off, because to shorten it up, I had went there. I met the guy only one time, and I never saw him again. Because he went to another dealership to do other things, and then just left the field overall. But I met this one guy, Eddie Jones, and that's been like a very, very good friend of mine. And he kind of like, not knowing me at all, only then one other time where he saw me, Lamborghini Paramus had posted up like an image of mine, and come to find out he was the one who was really posting things. So McLaren had a grand opening, and it was like an open invite to everybody. So I messaged the guy. I'm like, "Hey, can I go?" Yeah, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go, but you can go." So I went there, and that's when everything just kind of like
opened,
changed for me.
That's so dope.
Yeah, so